What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. Crushing the work today. Got a nice sunny day here again. Unbelievable weather for this time of year in New Jersey. So let's see. I was on a podcast this morning with a guy named AJ. Lives in India. Got a pretty big following over there, and he wanted to dive into some of the stuff, the unconventional stuff that I do. And as we were talking, he was kind of like, well, how did you figure this stuff out? Because this is stuff that we know to be true in India, but like, where did it come from in my life? So I'm going to break down some of the stuff I do, maybe the stories behind where I began doing some of this stuff. And I do believe maybe I was Indian in the past life, because I vibe with a lot of their teachings and their culture. Actually, this weekend, we're taking our first official transcendental meditation lesson, Devin and I. So I'm really pumped about that. That's going to be pretty awesome. So that is good stuff. And let's start with the fasting. So as you may or may not know, that began for me back in 2014. And at that time, I was doing a 16-8, and I was doing it purely for cosmetic reasons. I was getting ready for a bodybuilding show, my 6th and 7th show I did that year, and that was the last time I have competed. Reading about stubborn fat. And the stubborn fat guys, if you touch those areas of your body, they're colder than the rest of your body because they have a very poor blood supply. So with that in mind, as I'm reading, this one author, Lyle McDonald, has got a lot of like nerdy nutrition stuff out there. He's talking about the only way you can really increase blood flow to those areas is through fasting. So I started fasting purely for cosmetic reasons. And I pretty much stuck with a 16 to one meal a day for 5 years. In 2019, I dove back into the research and started doing the Panda. That's how the Panda was created. And actually, the Panda itself was created when I was on my deathbed. I was doing that from April all summer. That December, right before COVID hit, I got a wicked nasty case of the flu, like delirious. And I remember Devin had me quarantined in the bedroom. This is before quarantine became like a fashionable thing to do. But I was sick, and Emma was a baby. I would go into like convulsions, like delirious. And I sat in there with my notebook, and I jotted down the outline of the Panda because I knew I was onto something, because how great I'd felt and how much my body had changed in that short period of time. And this is coming from somebody who has a fitness, like I live fitness, right? So I knew I was really onto something. And then recently in the Panda, one of our guys, we have a couple Indian fellows doing that, and one of them had said, hey, a lot of what you teach is what they teach in my religion. And it's just really cool, like the spiritual aspects, the mental aspects. And again, I haven't read those texts from that culture necessarily, but it's just kind of this wisdom, that ancient wisdom that I've tapped into. I don't take credit for it. I'm just a messenger. And as I continue to do it, it keeps opening up other pathways and other things to research and other things to try. Like this month, I'm doing 72s all month, right? So I'll eat again Wednesday night. Last meal was last night, cheat night, Sunday night. And I wasn't planning on doing 72s, like if I didn't have it on a calendar, but we were on vacation, and I was like, you know what? The time is right. That's at 72s, do a little dry run for the spring, summer coming up. I've got my plan in my head as far as what I'm going to do to hit some of my body fat goals for the summer. But that's what happens, guys. And then I'll get inspired to do a 5-day fast. Then I learn more about it. And with that stuff, guys, I'm my own study. I know what works. And I've tested this on a lot of people. I don't care what any of the mainstream studies say or what any fake fitness experts say. And it doesn't matter if you disagree. Do what's best for you. But I'm telling you, I tapped into something with the fasting. And it's not even about the body change. A lot of people will come to me for that reason initially. It's about what it does to your mind and then therefore your spirit. So we have that. Then he was asking me about the cold tub. The cold tub, guys, is something I dabbled with for a while. 2014, I probably started. Same year. Same year I learned mind maps. 2014 was a big year for me. And I was following Wim Hof's program. And I believe A lot of his tumo breathing and whatnot is taken from the same culture, the Indian culture, that part of the world anyhow. And I failed many times at the cold shower protocol he had. I just like, oh man, it was painful. And then I got into it like 2 years ago. I was like, I'm doing this. And I followed his 10 weeks. And then last summer I built a cold tub out there. So what does it do for me? Do I expect other people to do a cold tub? No, not really. One of my clients now that lives in California was messaging me this weekend. He's going to build his own too. But that's not something I expect other people to do. It's all your own path. You got to figure out what works for you. What does it do for me? Right out the gate, guys, it allows me to know that I had to win. I was uncomfortable. I put myself in an uncomfortable situation. So right away, it's for the mental discipline, mental toughness. Now, it also dramatically boosts your dopamine levels. I think they say up to like 200% and it stays elevated for a while. Secondly, your metabolic rate goes up like hundreds of percentile over baseline, and that stays elevated. It's great for your vascular system and your blood vessels. So tapped into that. And then we were talking about the urine therapy. And he's like, yeah, I know of it, but they do something with the urine, with the cows. The cow is a very sacred animal in the Indian culture. How did I tap into that? I was listening to an interview by a doctor that was talking about blood clots with people that got the shot, if you know what I'm talking about. And I did not. Obviously, I think most of you know my position on all this stuff. And how there's a compound in urine that will dissolve blood clots like that. So I started researching it, and I started doing it right away. Again, I wasn't concerned with that reason, but I looked at all the health benefits, and I'm still reading stuff on it, but I started the next day. So all this stuff that I do, right, and that's big in the eastern part of the world, in India, treating disease, maintaining health. And it was cool on the podcast with AJ. I'm taking out a book. I'm like, look, this is an Indian poster for this urine therapy. This is this. It's like, wow, that's really cool, man. He's like, even though I live here, I don't know all this stuff. But it's stuff that I'm tapping into, and one thing leads to the next. And I'm just a messenger. It comes to me, and I get inspired by it, and then I share it. This is what I do with my life. And it's helped me so much that why would I not share it with other people? It doesn't make any sense. It's dramatically transformed many lives in my life. So I'm going to keep sharing all this stuff. So those are the things, right, that made me think, man, maybe I was Indian in a past culture. And I'm really psyched to get started with this transcendental meditation, altered state of mind, to have something that really unplug and rejuvenate twice a day, 20 minutes each time. I love doing mind-altering substances. I love exploring the mind. And I think transcendental meditation, which again was created by an Indian mystic or yogi, is going to be a game changer for me to do throughout the week and just every day, really tapping back into that source and who am I, right? And getting really clear on what my mission is. And last thing I'll tell you guys, he said, well, what's the point of all this, living this tough lifestyle? So I live a stoic life, guys. So look, The Art of Living, where I've got other books on stoicism. And I didn't even know what stoicism was, to be honest with you, even a year ago. I couldn't verbalize the philosophy. People would tell me, hey, you're like a stoic. Like, how do you do that? What do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. That's just how I am. But a stoic, I don't react to many things. And I put myself in uncomfortable situations often. Why do I do that? Because it leads to growth. At the end of my life, I'm on a personal journey to self-actualize. I want to find out what I'm capable of. And then I share it with you guys. That's the whole thing. I'm not out there to say, let me get this and then sell this. No, this is what I live. And then I just share it with you guys. And that's my mission. See what the hell is possible with my life. And hopefully that inspires other people. And then they go and find all these cool things to share, man. I'm all about that, which is really cool. But it's about self-actualization, guys. Okay. I've got to get ready for a coaching call. Got a new client starting up. If you guys need any help, just shoot me a DM. I'm glad to chat with you. Anything with mind, body, spirit, fasting, I can help you guys with that. Hopefully you've been liking the content. Hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment. Keep an eye out for things we got coming up. Panda 14, I think it is coming up. Starts March 13th. You'll be seeing the ads for that, or you can reach out to me directly. I teach you every week with that for 6 weeks. Get a lot of cool personal challenge. We'll be documenting me and the media crew. So a lot of good stuff coming you guys' way. Again, thank you for the support. I love my life. You guys got to make sure that you love your life. It's much more enjoyable. And then you don't have to project into the future. Just be where you are, guys. Later.